Hi. So, I understand that you're having some difficulty with some writing. Okay. So, did you bring your writing pieces? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at them. I'm just gonna kind of look at your spelling, punctuation, capitalization, or just any grammar errors. And then we can look at it and definitely make it better. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna read it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go through these and let's see what we could change with each sentence. So it says, at the beginning of school, Sarah was afraid of her new teacher. So it looks like you spelled afraid, F-A-R-A-D. We want to spell that A-F-R-A-I-D. So I'm going to circle that and write above how to spell that. And we don't need to capitalize teacher because it's not the name of a specific teacher. So I'm going to circle that and just write a lowercase t there for you. You only need to capitalize a person if it's the name of a specific person. So, and I saw that throughout your paper, so I'm going to circle all of those and cross them off and put a lowercase t. Okay. So this seamed, we're going to want to make it S-E-E-M-E-D. Just make sure we spell that right. She had so many rules. Many is M-A-N-Y for the class to follow. And follow is F-O-L-L-W. And then I'm going to read this sentence out loud to you, and I want you to think about if it sounds right to you and how you might change that sentence. So it says, your sentence says, scare someone to pieces. So what did you mean by that? Okay. So you're saying that the rules that how many rules she had would scare someone to pieces. So maybe we could say all of the rules would scare someone to pieces instead of scare someone to pieces. Okay, I'll go ahead and write that. Okay, so we're going to want to spell continued C-O-N-T-I-N-U-E-D, not C-O-T-I-N-U-E-D. So I'm going to circle that and write that for you. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to read this one to you too. And just think about, does it sound right to you? Sarah begun to understand how the teacher come up with the rules. So when you talk, do you say Sarah begun to understand how the teacher come up with the rules? Okay, so how would you say that? Good, yeah, so Sarah began, so let's go ahead and let's write began. Perfect. Sarah began to understand how the teacher come up with the rules. Okay, so you meant to say understand, so we want to put a D there. Sarah began to understand how the teacher come up with the rules. Do you hear anything else that doesn't sound right to you? Okay, so what I notice is it says Sarah began to understand how the teacher come up. I think you meant to say came up with the rules. So I'm going to circle that and write came. Okay, and then we need a period after rules. Okay, so the rules were there. So students would be respectful. Respectful. We're going to want to spell that correctly. So we need a T after the C. Respectful. R-E-S-P-E-C-T-F-U-L. Okay, of theyselves. Does that sound right to you? Okay. So how might you change that of theyselves? Okay, so you want to change the they and theyselves to themselves. Okay, circle that and write that. So by the end of the year, Sarah, though Mrs. Smith was the best teacher she ever had. Okay. Okay, so can you read that? Make sure that sounds right to you. Okay, so you meant to say that. Okay. Instead of though. Yeah, those are very similar words, so it makes sense. A lot of students get those confused. So that it's gonna be spelled T-H-O-U-G-H-T. So just remember that T when you write though. Mrs. Smith was the best teacher she ever had. So one more thing, we're going to want to spell ever, E-V-E-R, not E-V-E-R-E. Okay? So I would like you to just read this paragraph here and make sure that it sounds right when you read it out loud. That's a really great strategy that you can use when you write. If you read it out loud and you think, oh, does that sound like I talk? That can really help you. So I would like you to read this out loud and then let me know if you see anything else that you think you could change. Okay? Okay, and so this there, you want to change it to, so it says the rules were there. You put THEREIR, which would be the ownership there. You're going to want to change that to what there do you think? THERE. There were, the rules were there. Good, so go ahead and write that. THERE. Okay, so keep reading and see if you see anything else. So you think it looks good? Okay, so why don't we take a little break and then we can look at another one. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the science paper that you wrote. Can you look at some of that? So let's see. So it looks like this is an opinion piece. So just to start off, you said yes, it is important. So when we start a paper, we don't want to start with yes. So we might want to take that out and just say it is important. So I'm going to cross that off. I'm going to actually read this all and then I'll let you know what I find. Okay? Okay, so you're saying that traveling in space is important. The thing that I think we need to look at is our sentence or your sentence structure. But I can definitely tell that you gave me your reasons why you think traveling into space is important. So I think what we need to do is kind of read our sentences out loud and think of how we talk and say those things. Okay. So it says exploration is the major advantage. So I think for the, you meant to say a major advantage because we're only talking about one thing. Space exploration is a major advantage for the upcoming science discoveries. And we don't need to capitalize science. It's not a proper noun, so I'm just going to cross that off and put a lowercase. Exploration is okay, so we need to know okay, so this sentence I'm kind of confused with. It says we need to know traveling into space would end humans starting to build a city. What were you trying to say there? Okay. Okay, so why don't we just cross that off? And we can think of something else to say. Right, so it says it is clear that the moon has no air and no people. So it is cleared that the moon has no air and no people. So when you said cleared, what did you mean there, do you think? Yeah, clear. So I'm going to write clear under there. I'm going to take away that ed, so we'll just say it is clear that the moon has no air and no people. Okay. Okay, so you're saying that, let's cross, so you said so that, let's cross so that off, and then it says we would need to make air and then we could live there. Okay. So let's capitalize that. So it says, as we exploration, we get new knowledges. So think about, can you exploration? What's the verb in exploration? What can you do? Okay. Yeah. So we want to change that to explore. So we're going to say, as we explore, we get new knowledges. So new, you spelled K-N-E-W. I think you meant to say new, like a new item or something brand new, not as in I knew the answer. So I'm going to write new, N-E-W, new knowledges. As we explore, we get new knowledges. So you actually don't need that S there. We're going to cross it off. We can just say we get new knowledge and we learn new things. Okay, so the danger of traveling into space are. So it sounds like you're talking about one danger when you say there. So instead of are, we can change are to is. If we said the dangers of traveling into space, we could say are in that case. Traveling, we don't need that. Space is that. Okay, so when it says, in the case that the fuel gets finished, what do you mean by gets finished? Okay, so you mean kind of like when you're riding in a car, your gas gets empty. So let's say in the case that the fuel becomes empty, so I'll write that. Okay, so we want to capitalize that T. So, have to carry clothes which we can survive. So maybe we want to say have to carry clothes that can help humans survive, or which can help humans survive. Okay, space is cold and space is cold and is too much hot. So I don't think you meant to say it's too much. Maybe you meant to say space is cold and is very hot. It's too much and very mean the same thing. Okay, so the scientist who goes into space. Does that sound right to you? Okay, yeah, so you probably should be go. Makes good discoveries. The scientists. So since you have the S at the end of scientist, you actually don't need to add the S after make, because that would make your subject and your verb agree. Okay, we don't need this word. I'm going to cross it off. We want to spell really correct. It's Really. Okay, so now that I looked at it, remember, this is just a draft, so it's okay if it's still not perfect or where you want it. We always will add it and revise and keep doing that. So I'm going to have you read it and see if you can see anything that you want to change now, okay? So here you think that you meant to say you want to know if you could build a city in space. Okay, so think about how you might word that and what you might say for that. And you can write it down and then we can always change it later if you don't like the way it sounds, but just kind of try to think about how you want to form that sentence. Okay? Okay, yeah, no, that's really good. Good. It's definitely an improvement from here to here. Nice job. Okay. Okay, so you think it looks good? Okay. Right, so we can look at this later. Let's end for today. Thank you for working so hard on this. I can already tell that your paper is going to be much better. And I'll see you next time. Bye.